It may sound counterintuitive to having a discussion, but there are some issues that just don't have two sides. Nobody is in favor of tornadoes or cancer, and nobody has an issue with pizza. Maybe pineapple on pizza, but not pizza itself. There are, in fact, things that we can all agree on unanimously, or at least within a very, very small margin of error. And what led to the second impeachment of the former president is one of those things that doesn't have two sides. Now, I realize there are many who claim to be against the second impeachment, but when you examine their claims, they are political, or maybe even constitutional, when considering impeaching a president who's no longer in office. But on the merits of it, on the specifics of what happened on January 6th, there is simply no debate. Exactly 2 weeks before we inaugurated a duly elected president, a fact determined not just by 50 secretaries of state, but by more than 50 courts of law, a violent mob ransacked Congress. First, the mob attacked the building itself. Then members of the mob went in search of its occupants. A mob that, by admission of many who actually participated and have since been arrested, was doing what it did because the former president, the only president they want to recognize, motivated them to do it. And that motivation came by the way of many, many lies that he told. That murderous mob didn't spontaneously appear, nor did it randomly decide to enter the Capitol. There was a plan, or at least a lot of preparation, all of it fomented by years of attacks on facts and truth, ending with 2 months of election lies and hysteria. The lies came from various sources, but at the top was the former president. And if you doubt his total influence, consider this. According to the media intelligence company Signal Labs, in the days after his ban from Twitter, disinformation about the 2020 election fell by 73%. Words are powerful, and a president's words carry the power to move financial markets and to start wars. So it's not a surprise that so many were willing to do what they did on that now infamous day in January. The charge is of inciting an insurrection against the government. That actually happened. It's on video. It happened shortly after the former president delivered a 70-minute speech telling his supporters that he'd never give up, that the election was stolen, and that his vice president and Congress should reject the election results. And then he instructed them to march to the Capitol and, quote, fight. You're going to hear a lot about how this impeachment is dividing the country and about what the Constitution does or doesn't say. But in the end, we all, no matter your political persuasion, know what happened on January 6th. And if you think there are two sides to this story, chances are you're eating a pineapple-topped pizza right now in the middle of a tornado.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.